Back for a album review today. We're going to be talking about the new album from the band Hellfrost and Fire. This is their debut album entitled Fire, Frost, and Hell. March 18th, 2022 via Transcending Obscurity record. Now let's take a minute and I'll give you a rundown. Now, Hellfrost and Fire are basically a British death metal supergroup featuring Dave Ingram from Benediction, Bolt Thrower, and many other bands on vocals. Travis Ruvo of Blood Freak, Worm Food, and Cropsy Maniac on drums. And Rick DeMusis of Goth on guitar and bass. Now, they play a very late 80s, early 90s British death metal a la, I think maybe 90s Napalm Death, early Benediction, Bolt Thrower, and even the more recent Memoriam. In addition to that, the band is really wanting to do something showing their love for Celtic Frost. So if you can imagine early Celtic Frost played through a British death metal filter, that's basically what you get here. So this album is very primal sounding, very British, simple, catchy. All the songs are mostly mid-paced and chunky sounding, rarely venturing into faster or even real slow territory. Most of the songs consist of like 1 to 2 riffs that are mostly simple, chuggy, and even sometimes a basic thrash riff, which is not uncommon for the earliest of death metal bands, which is where Dave Ingram comes from. So this album is just a plain, good old-fashioned, catchy, chunky, simplistic, primal-sounding death metal. It was supposedly made as an ode to Celtic Frost, but it doesn't really sound that similar to me. It does have a few, somewhat Tom G. Warrior thrash type riffs, and occasionally Dave Ingram will do but in ways that the band, make their own. There isn't a whole lot of variation here, but that really isn't the point, and the tracks do kind of stand on their own. There aren't necessarily guitar solos in every song, but they're used kind of sparingly. But when they do show up, you definitely appreciate them, and they do add to the song. They typically appear near the end of the song, and they do kind of have their own characteristics and sound different from each other, so I do like that. I don't know if this album is a one-off from this band, and admittedly I haven't seen a whole lot of people talk about this since it's been out, if any at all. It wasn't a very enjoyable listen, I would say. For me, I could see myself returning to it from time to time, and I'd definitely like to pick up a physical copy, CD probably. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 6 out of 10. Has anyone heard Hellfrost and Fire? If so, what do you think? I'd like to hear what people think. Your opinion definitely matters to me, and yeah, it was a cool little album, and I'd like to see what they might do next. Anyways, leave your thoughts. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you plan on checking it out? Have you heard it? And whatever else you want to say. So anyways, I gotta take off. Louis says hello. He needs to go outside. We're gonna go take a walk. So yeah, as always, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.